Friends, the level of concentration and lack of distraction with which you do any task determines how perfect you will become at it. But in today's age of social media, we get distracted very easily and are unable to give our 100% to our work. There are two main reasons for this. The first reason is not setting your priorities. We don't divide our tasks into two categories, important and urgent. Because of this, we keep switching from one task to another. Not setting priorities makes us get distracted even by small things. The second reason is doing shallow work. When you keep getting distracted while working, your mind can't work with concentration. This kind of work is called shallow work. If you observe, you'll notice that shallow work causes you three problems. First, it consumes a lot of your time. Second, you're not able to do your work with quality. And third, it keeps your mind in a state of depression and tension. That's why it's very important that you learn to do deep work instead of shallow work. And in this video, I will share with you some important concepts and lessons for doing deep work, which are based on Newport's popular book, Deep Work. Let's get started. Friends, some people argue that their work gets done even with shallow work. So what's the need for deep work? So let me make it clear to you that the shallow work we do today will be done by machines and robots in the future. And at that time, only those people who have the ability to do deep work will be successful. For example, today we can withdraw and deposit money from our bank accounts using ATMs, but there was a time when people used to do this work. In the same way, in the future, there will be many such technologies that will replace different jobs and services. But the importance of deep work will still remain. In fact, it will increase many times over, because it is clear that no machine or artificial intelligence can ever replace human intelligence and focus. For people with different mindsets and different abilities, the author has described 4 philosophies of doing deep work. The first is monastic. According to the monastic philosophy, you isolate yourself for the long term in order to do deep work on your task. Basically, this philosophy is adopted by sages and meditators. They don't do any shallow work for a long time. Instead, they completely isolate themselves and work on their tasks or focus on their practice. The second is the bimodal approach. In the bimodal philosophy, you set aside certain days in a week specifically for deep work. Ideally, this period can be considered to be between 2 to 7 days, but people can decrease or increase it according to their situation. Mostly, the bimodal philosophy is adopted by businessmen or entrepreneurs, so they can focus on developing a new idea. The third is the rhythmic approach. According to the rhythmic philosophy, you set aside 3 to 4 hours daily specifically for your deep work. If you are a beginner, this philosophy will be perfect for you. This is basically for those people who want to learn a new skill or work part-time on a new idea alongside their current job or business. Number 4, journalistic. The journalistic philosophy is for those people who have considerable experience with deep work and who can easily switch their minds between shallow work and deep work. This is mostly used by journalists because they have to work in situations that are unexpected and change very quickly. You can implement deep work in your daily life with the help of these rules. Number 1, start working deeply. Friends, deep work is very rare. Less than 5% of people in the world are able to do deep work because it is a skill that takes time and effort to develop. The biggest barriers to deep work are our thoughts and desires. The thoughts and desires that come into our minds disturb us from our work. According to studies, when people are working, some common thoughts come to their minds like checking their email, checking social media, browsing, or having the desire to take a break. If you truly want to free yourself from such thoughts and focus on your work, you should set your priorities. You can categorize your priorities based on urgency and importance. Apart from this, I would also suggest that in the beginning, you use the Pomodoro technique to build your focus. According to this technique, you should work with full focus for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break and continue this sequence. When you finish a task, you can take a long break of 20 to 30 minutes. With this technique, your focus will remain intact and your productivity will also increase. There are also many free mobile applications available for the Pomodoro technique that will help you implement this technique. Number 2, separate your life and work. Friends, apart from business or a job, there are many other things that matter in our lives. You are not only successful when you achieve success in your business, but spending time with your family and maintaining relationships are also important parts of success. That's why you should try to finish your work at a certain time every day, and forgetting all the stress of work, spend time with your family and friends. In short, when you're not working, you shouldn't worry about work. If you stay relaxed like this, you'll benefit the next day and be able to focus on your work with twice the energy. To follow this rule, you can decide not to check your emails after work and not to discuss work-related stress during dinner time. With such small decisions, you'll see major improvements in both your work life and personal life. And ultimately, you'll be able to maintain a balance between your work life and personal life. Number 3, embarrassing boredom. Many times in our daily lives, our minds get filled with boredom. But the problem arises when you start getting bored during work time. Most people decide to take a break at such times, and according to the situation, that's actually fine. But I'll give you 2 tips that can help you control your boredom. The first tip is your diet. I suggest that you eat raw foods like raw vegetables or fruits in the morning. This will keep you energetic throughout the day and you won't feel bored. Also, try not to eat until you're completely full. Because scientifically, when our stomach is full, we start feeling sleepy and it becomes impossible to focus on work. If you still feel bored, then the second tip is that you can set a time limit to finish your tasks. The benefit of this is that you'll try to finish the work before the time limit ends, and you won't even realize when your boredom disappeared. Number 4, quit social media. All of us use social media these days, but it is only profitable for those who can manage it effectively and can distance themselves from it at will. The truth is, the more we consume social media, the more it affects the peace and stability of our minds. Therefore, if you are not a good social media manager, it will badly affect you in the long run. It is very much possible that you could become addicted to it, so you should set limits on your usage before you get addicted. But if you are unable to do that, then quitting social media for some time is the best option. Now the bigger problem is for those people who work in fields like social media and digital marketing. And for them, quitting social media is not possible. So they can definitely set limits and restrictions on their usage. It's absolutely not the case that this will affect your business. In fact, you'll be able to work in a more productive way than before. Because social media acts as a barrier to our creativity and productivity, and during deep work, our creativity becomes sharper. That's why quitting social media is the ideal decision for deep work. Number 5, know your time. Friends, according to deep work, you should keep track of every single minute of your day, where you spent it. To implement this, you can create a timetable for your entire day in a diary and set different time durations for different tasks. When you analyze your time in such detail, you start to value your time more and spend it wisely. If you're not able to maintain the diary properly in the beginning, instead of getting stressed, you should focus on correcting your mistakes. As you keep practicing consistently, your analysis keeps improving and you learn how to spend every minute effectively. So friends, these were the important concepts and lessons from the popular book Deep Work, written by Newport. Friends, you will find the link to this book in the video description. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. With more book summaries like this and life lessons, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.